So here we are with the Naturalist role. You want to try and get some quick experience, get it level up very quickly. This method, depending on how many bonuses you have active, if you have the Outlaw Pass, and I believe there's a bonus for Twitch, maybe not. But anyway, you get about 65 experience per turn in per sample. So we're going to start with the farm animals and try and get as many samples as possible, get as much experience as possible. And I start here, typically blocking this fence as best as possible with the horse. And this is the little farm to the northeast of Heartland's oil fields, the northwest of Heartland Overflow and the Emerald Ranch, just southwest of Moonstone Pond. So we'll begin here with the cows. Now the cows take about 8 to 10 shots to take down. In this video I just shot them all, try to sedate them as quickly as possible. But this is not the most efficient way. You'll want to do a few at a time because it takes time for them to go down, for you to get your sample, to move on to the next one. And you definitely don't want the cows to get back up and lose track of which ones you sampled and which ones you haven't, because then you're just wasting extraordinary amounts of ammunition. So we're going to continue taking down the cows, get all the samples. You can have a maximum stack of 10 samples at a time, and I didn't count exactly how many cows there were in here, but this is most of the cows done. As soon as you can get them taken down and get the samples. If you notice, a lot of guides I've seen, a lot of information I've seen, recommend just going around tagging down as many animals as possible, sampling them. The thing about the farm animals, if you do it inside of a ranch or a farm, is that there's a fence preventing them from escaping. So they all end up in a generally close together pile, so to speak. You can get your samples, you can gain your stack very quickly. You don't have to chase these things across the map because they're not very fast and they're confined by a fence. Now, the cows are not the best things to use for samples because they do take a lot of shots. But we'll continue to go through the methods. A lot of guides using alligators as a recommendation. I've added that at the end. They're okay, especially in crowded lobbies. If you can't get anything else to spawn, there's always going to be alligators. So I did add that at the end, but cows, farm animals, are typically the best and the fastest way. So now we're going to move on to Emerald Ranch and see what else we can find there. And if there are a bunch there, then this is going to be the prime experience gathering method. So I cut a little bit. I went after a random event that spawned up on, or yeah, spawned nearby. So we're off to Emerald Ranch to complete our cows, and hopefully, I think I saw some sheep there. Sheep are going to be the best possible grind. We're going to complete the cows first. Get all of those samples full so we have a full stack to turn in. And there's also a couple of different kind of oxen that spawn here. You can get those extra little bonus samples. Do the cows. Now people have said that you can get assault or animal cruelty or whatever from doing the farms. I've never gotten it. I think these people are killing chickens and stuff too, or they're shooting it so much that they actually kill the animal. You're not going to get assault or animal cruelty or anything if you're just using the sedative and letting them pass out, taking the sample and going, either reviving them or letting them wake up on their own. I don't use the reviver for a couple of reasons. One, I keep my my honor level low, and the experience versus the cash cost of the revivers is ridiculously out of proportion. If it gave you 100 experience, I could understand spending that kind of money on a reviver, but unless you just are trying to grind positive honor or something, I wouldn't waste the money. So we'll keep finishing off the cows, getting our samples. And you can see how long it takes to sedate the cows, wait for them to fall over, and gather the sample. How much ammunition it takes. And I'll also go ahead and say that you want to keep an eye on the samples to save ammo, because it's not going to warn you when you fill up like it does with collectibles or really anything else that you pick up. Samples are different in that they will not warn you that you're full until you have sedated another animal. And see a no pop-up. I just got 10 no pop-up. It wouldn't warn me until I try to sedate another animal and take another sample, so you waste that ammunition in that time. But here is the sheep. So 2 to 4 shots per sheep. They fall down fast. If you can find them in abundance, this is the fastest method for XP gain for the Naturalist role. They're in enclosure, so they can't run very far away. They can get out of those gates, so I recommend shooting from the gate side so that they'll run deeper into the enclosure. And of course, they can't get out because it's all fenced. But it's not like it takes very many shots anyway, so once you get the required amount of sedative in them, then they slow down and kind of falter and fall over. So that's going to be 7 samples in just that little short amount of maybe 60 seconds, maybe 2 minutes. You have 7 samples already of sheep. Everything's worth the same experience value, so you might as well do the easiest animals possible. These things are in enclosures. They can't run very fast anyway, but they're in enclosures, makes it even easier. So that's the 7 samples from those two enclosures. And we're going to go over here, and whenever you hop in and start sedating them, recommend keeping the gate closed. Hop over a fence so that they have a harder time getting out if they're able to get over there to the fence. And that's going to be 9 samples in total from Emerald Ranch, or Emerald Station, or both, whichever. I'm going to check back here. Goats, alpine goats spawn in here, 1 or 2 usually. There are none right now, so we're going to move on. But they're just little extra samples that you can get while you're here. So we're going to go to Valentine for the auction yards. And I'm going to fast travel. You can ride there if you're low on cash, but I think it's $2 to go from here to there. So I'm just going to fast travel. And we're going to look in the pens here. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of sheep. The controls have been a little weird since the update. Maybe they'll iron that out. So we only need 1 sheep. So here it is. And let's get that one down. You can see there's a farmhand or auctioneer or whatever you want to call him. He saw me do this. No assault, no criminal points or anything like that. No law on you while you're trying to do this. So let's see, we had the first one we got. There was one wandering around. I believe I count 11 or 12 sheep here in total whenever it's fully spawned. So we had 9 from Emerald Ranch. That's 20 sheep that you could get samples off of. Throw in a turn in to harry it in between. And if you have all of the bonuses going, that's 1300 roll XP for a couple of minutes. And there's more sheep there to the right. There's probably 15 to 20 sheep here. And I'll recommend also, bonus tip, you probably noticed that I'm staying on my horse when I fast travel every time. And that's because there's currently a bug where your horse will sometimes stay back at the last fast travel post you used whenever you travel if you're not sitting on it.
Oh, hello.
I've heard a collectible here. It's got to be close by. It's got to be outside. Ah, yeah, it's a card, okay. Anyway, fast travel, sitting on the horse, and your horse will not get lost. And if you do lose your horse, dismiss it from the interaction menu, call another horse, or wait on if you only have 1 horse, wait on that one to be ready to summon again. It'll summon next to you. Now we're going to go over to Le Gras and go to Harriet, get some more ammunition, and I'm going to demonstrate the alligators. And that spot that I marked is another farm with cows if you need more samples. But if you're really, to be honest, if you throw in the sheep and you throw in the alligators here at the end of the video, then you're doing fine. You're using using about the same amount of ammunition on alligators. They're more abundant, easier to find, spawn better. So I'd recommend the sheep as your primary go-to. If you can't find them, then alligators are a good fill-in as well.
These are essential. Be careful using them on small animals, mind. It's too much for them. You're all covered then? Good luck.
Now I'm just showing just went through and sedated an alligator. Those are, like I said, I've seen a bunch of videos talking about alligators, how fast they are, and so forth. But in my opinion, they're about as fast as cows. The good thing about alligators is that they're usually more abundant. So we'll just free this thing. The cows are hit or miss sometimes. Sometimes you'll go to the farms and there just are none to be found. Alligators are pretty much always there, so if you run out of any other options, you can always use alligators. Now we're going to go find out what we have in the cage. And I definitely recommend, this is a little extra bonus tip. Another bonus tip is to loot these guys. They have a decent chance for a collectible. They have decent chances for pelts. As you might expect, poachers having pelts on them, animal parts. Looks like a wolf in here. Yeah. It's going to be a wolf, and we're going to free this thing here in just a second after we finish looting, and making a video on predator fighting and dangerous predator hunting, aggressive predator hunting. So this will be one of the tips that you'll find in that video, but we are going to go ahead and get ready with our sedative ammo. You might as well get a sample of this one also, in case you didn't know. You can just shoot the locks off of these. Get the sedative rifle out, and if you melee kick a wolf, it will knock it down. You can take a few shots and then dodge, and kick it twice again. And, well, we somehow killed that one with the sedative ammo. But that's how it works. I've done it a bunch of times. I've got some footage for the dangerous predators hunting video that I'll be putting up. And it doesn't kill them. I don't know why it killed that one. So we're going to go back. We're going to continue to go after alligators. And really, you could run that as a route, to be honest. You could do go check the cows, go check the sheep, and get as many samples as those first. Come to Le Gras, refill your ammo, trade in your samples at that point if you want to. Come and get you some alligators on your route. Take all your samples out of those. Get you a stack of 10. Sometimes there's some turtles and things around the swamp also. You can get an extra sample out of those. And one thing about the alligators is, of course, you don't want to get too close, but you also don't want them to get back into the water. So you want to try and engage these things from the water side of the alligator, so that whenever you start shooting it, it'll run away from you more toward the land than toward the water. So there's one. We're standing in the water shooting him this time, starting from the head. More headshots means faster downtime. If you shoot these things from the side rather than from the back, you can get a lot more shots before it starts moving away from you, because he has to sit and turn to try and get the escape angle away from your exact position. There's also a lot of vanilla flowers if you want to pick those. Tons in this little area right here. But we're looking for more alligators. And there was one over there, but let's see if we can find one closer to the river to demonstrate more of the best way to handle these.
Goods and supplies for the budding naturalist.
There's one there. And see, this one is actually running towards the water. So I try and get around him on the side, change his escape angle. There he goes, back into the land. So you want to chase around the water side to try and get him to turn more toward the land or away from the river. Just looking for a few more. There's one. This one, we'll go ahead and show what happens whenever they do get into the water, and how much of a pain it is whenever they pass out in the water. See, he's sedated. We're just chasing straight behind him. He went down, and in just a second he should return to the surface. Yeah, there. Okay, popped up on the mini-map now. Alright, that one's out also. Now this one's floating in the water. Now this, you can recover things floating in the water just by collision pushing them toward the shore. But when it comes to alligators, he's not going to be the only one in the water. So you have to be really good to get this thing pushed to the shore, not completely run out of stamina and not get eaten by another alligator. So just going to get the stamina up here. Let it regen a little bit because he's almost there. Yeah, see there. Doesn't take but a second to get snatched. Just gonna try and ease him in. See if we can get a sample. Now we need to ease him a little closer. Now just rush, 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 and let physics do its job. Alright, so that one's caught, and see how much more effort that took than just chasing them from the water side. A little bit inland, let them pass out on the shore for sure. This one we're going to make sure we chase them around to the right as we're shooting. There we go. That one almost went into the water. You just have to rush sometimes to the right or to the left, whichever the water side is. We have one more here. Another one was running off there to the left. We'll see See if we need him in just a moment. Yep, that's 8. I know I'm demonstrating this, of course, like I said, because you may not be able to find in the farm animals. They're a little bit more funky about spawning or not. But you see how much faster gathering the sheep was compared to gathering the alligators. Even keeping them all on the shore, keeping them all on the land so they're easy to get. It takes a lot more shots. It's about like the cows. It takes about as many shots as the cows, unless you can get a lot of headshots right in front. There's a turtle there. We'll gather this sample. I believe that's 9. Then the other one will be 10. And then the alligator turtle will be extra. A little bonus. Be careful, make sure it's the right one, because they look about the same asleep or awake sometimes. Alright, that's 10 alligators, 10 sheep, 10 cows, 1 alligator turtle, and I believe the run time on this video was about 30 minutes. However, I cut for about 1.5 minutes because of that random event, and there was the poached animals event that you wouldn't probably be doing very much of if you were trying to just trying to level. They don't give that much experience. And I'll show this spot here next to Matic Pond just because there is another farm there. I'm not going to show it in the video, but there is another farm there that has cows. If you want to get 10 samples of cows before you turn in, but there are not very many there, maybe 4 or 5 at the most. So we're going to restock, always restock ammo.
These are essential. Be careful using them on small animals. Simple enough then?
And
Alright, let's see what you have for me.
I'm going to look at my Naturalist level first. And we have 250 XP going into 17. So 1750 away from the level.
Let me see what you've collected.
And we're just going to hit sell all.
Hope it doesn't miss this.
Sell all again.
Gods among us, these incredible creatures.
Sell all again. That's 30 samples.
I don't understand it.
That's trying to find the ones that we just did. Now 30, we'll do the 30. So that's obviously a few levels in something. Looks like the Outlaw Pass has been boosted quite a bit. And we have 200 XP into 18. So it was a 1950 XP in about 20 minutes, roughly. Now, I highly recommend the sheep. You can do that very quickly. You can gather samples. If money's not a problem, then do the sheep. Leave the area, come back, do the sheep if you need more, or do the sheep, go to Harriet, turn in, go back to sheep, go to Harriet, turn in, go back to sheep, and back and forth and back and forth. If you don't have a problem with fast traveling, that's probably the fastest method. But that's all for today. I appreciate you watching. Thank you. Bye-bye.